What's up, everybody? Josh Minahan back again, aka Jay Fresh, doing another episode of Measuring Music with Minahan. Again, if you see the text there, yep, got that figured out. So we'll work on the widget another time. Measuring Music with Minahan. Follow me on YouTube, Jay Fresh at Instagram. Also, find me on Facebook as well. We're gonna get right into it. So this week, I wanted to do, which is probably my favorite source or type of music is two singers, one band. So whether it's two guys singing at the same time, or if it's a guy and a girl, or I mean, we can, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just whether it's two nice singers, two hard singers, it doesn't matter. It's just that's my topic for this week, and we'll start it off with the band that kind of got me into, I would say, that genre of music. And my all-time favorite band, you'll hear about them a lot of times from me, and that's At the Drive-In. We'll take the plastic off so there's not so much glare. That's their album, One Arm Scissor. This would be the one that pretty much catapulted them into fame and immediate self-destruction. Didn't even tour this album. I got lucky enough to meet them when they reunited in 2016 with everybody except for the other singer, which is Jim Ward. So the main singer for At the Drive-In, which we'll go ahead and get on over here to a little bit of the learning portion side of things, if you will. Hold on just one second. Let me. Let's just go back to here. Anyway, so big thing is At the Drive-In, punk band out of El Paso, Texas. Formed in '94, I do believe. Yeah, '94. Multiple lineup changes. It wasn't until the pretty much the main lineup got together in '96 that they actually started to gain some traction in the punk scene. Um, Again, like I've said multiple times at the drive-in, if you know me, um, they disbanded right after, like I said, right. I mean, as this album come out, they didn't even tour. The tour was set up. They never went on the tour. Um, but they went on tour to two late shows is all they did. They did one with David Letterman and one with Conan O'Brien. And actually, after the Conan O'Brien one, the lead singer, Cedric Bixler Zavala, and the lead guitarist, Omar Rodriguez Lopez, walked off stage, actually walking through the drum kit and everything of Tony Hajar. And that was literally the end of At the Drive-In up until they reunited. I want to say maybe 2010, 2011 for like Coachella, a couple big festivals like that, Lollapalooza, and then that was it until they reunited in 2016 and actually did a tour and then eventually a new album and stuff like that. But um, so the original singer, Cedric Bixler Zavala, always been in the band, but then Jim Ward also in the band early on, left for a while, then came back throughout all the stuff until they got he was even there for the 2010 reuniting, but then in the 2016 something like three 3 weeks at most before the tour was even supposed to kick off, he made a huge announcement himself saying that uh he will not be joining At the Drive-In on tour. He knew absolutely nothing about it, and they won't be doing anything together. And they've done absolutely nothing since. They've absolutely nothing. I will say there could be a little bit of bad blood because the Mars Volta, their other band, uh, oh, well, that is their other band, but the Mars Volta had Jeremy Michael Ward in it, and that's Jim Ward's cousin. And 2 weeks before the debut album from Mars Volta, Deloused in the Comatorium, Jeremy Michael Ward died of an overdose of heroin. So That being said, he still got back together with them for that 2010 reuniting, but not sure. I just feel like there's never been quite um, great feelings between Cedric and Jim. They've always kind of gotten at each other, and then Omar coming into things and kind of being Cedric's new right hand man. I think that also kind of rubs things the wrong way. I mean, you can look into it, and it does. I mean, everybody's got their speculations, but not really for sure how it all goes. Let me see if I can get this figured out real quick. All right, there it is. I don't know why it was hiding. But yeah, here's a little bit more news about them. But yeah, just their history, formation, acrobatic tenement, and then the fallout. They don't even mention their best album, El Gran Orgo, in here, and that would be when Jim originally left and Omar joined the band, and then after that, when they came out with In Casino Out and Via, Jim was back in the band. So this would be one of the bands that I would consider. Both singers are kind of screamers, and both of them can just like regular scream. There's no like growlers or anything like that, or like one's soft, one's hard, or anything like that. Both these guys, it's just two different singers kind of taking turns singing back and forth. And there's another band that kind of focuses on that same thing that we'll get into just here in a second. Um, but next up on my list of awesome bands, and this one, a lot of people are going to fight with me about. Some people like them, some people don't. But if you go to their early catalog when Casey was still alive, amazing stuff. But yeah, oh, let me take the sleeve off. Yeah, my bad. So yes, Hawthorne Heights, Silence in Black and White. This album, I'll be honest, this album was so good when it came out and so popular that I didn't even like it. I honestly didn't like it. Didn't like Hawthorne Heights at all. I thought they were kind of just, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm even from Midwest, and that's their whole thing. They're big Midwesterners, and I don't know. It was so big. It's kind of like when Fallout Boy also come out. They were kind of around the same time. There's just so much popularity in that scene right there. They kind of just, I didn't enjoy them, but after seeing them live and actually meeting JT, really, really nice guy. A lot of people say he's a dick, say he's an asshole. He said the same thing about Cedric from At the Drive-In. When I met him, he actually pushed the security guard away, who pushed me, and told him, "Get back, man. I want to sign a couple things for this guy." So, teach their own. I mean, treat people how you want to be treated, I guess. And every time I've been treated by these guys super amazingly. So yeah, they get nothing but respect from me. But again, Hawthorne Heights, Silence in Black and White. I'm telling you, so many bangers on here. Nikki FM, Silver Bullet, Ohio is for Lovers. I mean, that if you don't know that song, go listen to it and you'll be like, oh, wait, I do know that song because I know you do. But yeah, we can get into a little bit of like just some, again. So, band originally started all the way back in '07. Um, Casey Calvert, JT Woodruff, that would be your two singers. And this band would be the nice guy and the screamer. And Casey was amazing. And unfortunately, also lost Casey to an overdose. Um, it's a sad thing, but it's prevalent in a lot of music, especially in, I would say, the punk scene, whether you want to call it pop punk or not, or emo or whatever. These guys, everybody's got demons, and some people can't handle them, and some people take it too far, especially when you get popular like that and all of a sudden money isn't an issue. You can pretty much get as high as you fucking want. So it just, that's how it goes. You lose a lot of people. And we could do a 3-part series on bands, singers, artists that we've lost. Not just from I mean, we could do an episode to two alone just from one since I've been alive. But you start going backwards. I mean, you got the 27 Club, all that stuff, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, the originators. And then you even got Brian Brian Jones, original drummer for Rolling Stones. He drowned though, so kind of a different story. But he was still 27, original member of that. Um, Ton sense. Just regardless, it's sickening how many. And some people even claim they were going to be a part of the 27 club. And that's nothing really to brag about. You can totally be awesome and not have to die at 27. We still enjoy them. So, but yeah, just to get a little bit back into things. These guys still tour and all that stuff. They're really good. Again, really good dudes. Had a little their first two albums, Silence in Black and White, and If Only You Were Alone, If Only You Were Lonely. Those are the only two that highlighted Casey Calvert. So they still kind of use the screamer with the nice singer, but it's way toned down. It's just pretty much JT Woodruff's version of Hawthorne Heights. But again, when you're a fan, you're a fan. And it's still good music, but the first two albums would be the one that I would concentrate on. And side note, in the description on all these, down at the bottom, in my stream settings, I have a link to each one of these albums on YouTube that I am showing off here today. Main reason there is because, as you all saw from the first time, if I play music, I get shut down. So I can't play any music for you anymore, but I hope that you go and listen to this stuff because if you enjoy any type of punk on these two at all, I think these are choice albums and that you will really enjoy them. Moving on, this is not punk at all, and this is what I mean by two singers. Just two singers. That's all I'm getting at. Two singers. This next one, Raconteurs. Now, if you tuned into my first stream where I got, whatever, band blocked there for a couple times, uh, that is one of Jack White's bands. And there's two singers to that. There's Jack White and there's Brendan Benson. And when you listen to it, you really think that it's all Jack White. It's not. I've seen him live. I would tell you 70% of it is probably Brendan Benson. And that's this guy right here, actually, if you see him on your screen. That's Jack, that's Brendan. And them two together live is phenomenal. So good. Saw him down at AMC at Midland down in Kansas City. Oh, worth every dollar. And then it's also got Jack Lawrence on it, which I did mention is in another band called the Greenhorns, and Patrick Keeler. This band also has 3 albums out. The only reason I am showing you this album, Help a Stranger, is because I actually don't have their first 2 on vinyl. But I would say their second one, Counselors, let me see if I can get it pulled up. Oh, right there. Counselors of the Lonely. That album is amazing. Especially, I mean, I'll be honest, my buddy, when he heard this album right here, was blown away. Wasn't even a fan of their first album. Uh, but this one right here and the final track, Carolina Drama, it's such a good story and it's just got such a twist. Again, lyrics is a big thing for me, so um, that is an awesome song. Rich Kid Blues is a great song. Just a lot of good stuff. Salute Your Solution. Catchy, catchy, catchy riffs. Um, Hold Up, another catchy one. But that being said, Help a Stranger, the other album that I just portrayed here, is also from beginning to end bored and raised, not born and raised, bored and raised. And again, title track, Help Me Stranger. Sure, if you guys were listening to 89.7 The River recently in the past year or so, you've definitely heard that song. I wouldn't be surprised if they still play it today because they say they play new rock, but I think they're a bunch of liars because I never hear anything new on there. It's always at least 6 months old, but maybe that's just me. Um, Moving on though, it's a great album, and I've said since the first stream, anything Jack White, not disappointing. You're gonna love every bit of it, and I'll be honest. Oh, who are we gonna get a little treat from? Oh, it's my wife. Oh, you want to step in for a second? Just wave to everybody. Yeah, that's my wife. Figure we might want to shout her out since she's making noise all over the place. But Racketeers, great band, great band. Now, moving on to this next one, it's going to be another one that focuses on two singers that are pretty much essentially the same things, just different voice. They both scream. They both kind of sing regular. One I would say can sing really high pitched and does sing really high pitched. The other one doesn't. And this is another one of my influential bands from the beginning of me getting into punk rock, but it's the Blood Brothers and it's their album Crimes. Amazing album. That one right there is limited to 333. Uh, but just to get into a little bit of stuff about them, two lead singers that I'm focusing on today, Jordan Billy, Johnny Whitney. And Johnny Whitney is the one who can go a little bit more high pitched. Um, Jordan's your more natural singer. He doesn't. Johnny could probably fool you. Johnny could fool you and think that it's a girl, and that's going to be the same with the next band I bring up too. Their one singer can definitely probably fool you as a girl. This band actually has just reunited and is going on tour right now. So if anybody wants to buy me a ticket to Denver, I do believe it's the beginning of November. They will be there, and I will go if you pay. So I should have started a tip button this week. Tried to get that. Uh, but just kidding. Their album, they actually had a huge commercial flop with one of their earlier albums. This one here, Burn Piano Island Burn. Huge flop. Nobody liked it. It's actually really good. It's really good. It just, people, I don't know, people expect something special all the time. But then the next year is when they came out with Crimes. And I know it's not the same cover, but yeah, that's because mine's different. But this album right here blew people's socks off. I mean, if you look at ratings over here, I mean, Rolling Stone, who probably doesn't even like scream punk or post hardcore or whatever you want to fucking call it, give it a 3 out of 5. That's impressive. That's impressive. I give it for that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the other ones 9 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5, and these guys were like kind of nobodies. So for them putting this out when they did and getting the kind of reception that they did at the time, really impressive, and probably one of my favorite albums of all time would be that album. Again, different kind of type of music. All my music's a little bit of type different, but it's really good. And again, if you want to check it out, all of these albums, full albums, are on YouTube and they're in my link if you check on them below. So, or my description or whatever you want to call it. Moving on right into the next band, if you will. And this would be more of a two piece, if you will. The musical side of it was always changing, but the two main members always, for the beginning, always stayed in stayed the same, and that was the Bunny and the Bear. Bunny and the Bear still tours. It's the Bunny with his wife as the bear, and he did do a little stint where he had a different girl as the bear, but it's always been him and a guy named Chris Hutka. And we'll just go over here real quick right now. So yeah, this is Matthew here with a fan. That's Matthew. That's Matt Tybor. That's the Bunny. And if you also, I guess we can go back in full frame. As you can see, huge fan of them. Those are their masks back there. Huge fan. I've got all their stuff, Matthew's books and stuff like that. Really impressive lyricist. Uh, Matthew is the scream vocals and also sings nice, but then there's the beautiful, like almost, I'm not going to say opera esque, but just amazing voice. And that was Chris Hutka, who actually, as of I want to say maybe like 2021, 2022, something like that, he did pass away. He died. Uh, I'm pretty sure of an overdose. Not 100% sure, but unfortunate for him and what happened with that. Um, that this album though, this would be one of their first ones if you don't have anything nice to say. Got a bunch of great songs on there. Prelude to Pregnancy, Isles. Again, this is one where you've definitely got your nice singer and your screamer. So if you don't like the scream, probably stay away from it because it's also got the growling on that side of it too. Matthew does a little bit of everything. But just to keep things rolling, because I do got two more that I want to go through for you, and the second one is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. So we'll give that one a little bit of extra time. Second to last here, this is going to be one I've seen these guys multiple times. I saw them before they got big. Actually got a whole story for it. Got a poster somewhere here. I'll grab it here in just a second. Allison, why don't you grab that poster real quick over there so I can tell the story about it. So, right over here, sweetheart, the Fitz and the Tantrum one. So, two singers, Fitz and the Tantrum. It's their debut album, Picking Up the Pieces. Bet you a bunch of you know the song Money Grabber. Later releases like Hand Clap and stuff. Thank you, sweetheart. Hand Clap, stuff like that. Also been real popular around here in the metro. Um, Played a lot on the river. So, but yeah. So here's a little peek on them here. Lead singer is Michael Fitzpatrick, aka Fitz. And then the female amazingness of Noelle Skaggs. She is awesome. And if you know anything about this band, Michael Fitzpatrick actually had multiple bands that he was in. Gave it multiple shots. Nothing ever stuck. Nothing ever stuck. Did this Fitz in the Tantrum. Started it. And he didn't even know how long he was going to keep going with it because it just kind of wasn't working. And Adam Levine from Maroon 5 just so happened to be in the audience at one of their shows and saw them and just lost it. And that's pretty much it. He said those guys need to get signed, and they got signed. And ever since then, they've been on a roll. And I mean, they were really gaining a lot of traction, I would say, pre-COVID. And I mean, they've still been putting out music. I don't know what they just, and it's still really good music too. They just kind of haven't gotten back to their popularity, if you will. It's almost like that hurt them a little bit. But if you're looking for, and this is going to bring up, I would say, kind of like older 50s vibes and stuff like that. Um, but it is just so amazing. Again, I'm a huge punk fan, huge metal fan, and that album when it came out was I couldn't take it out of my CD player. Yeah, that's right, CD player. But so the first time we saw them, this would be the poster. This was at People's in Des Moines, and super tiny show. It was on Father's Day. Yeah, like two. God, I wish I had a date on it. I want to say 2010, somewhere around there, 2011. Um, but so the story behind it is I was kind of new to meeting bands and stuff like that at the time. Hadn't really done a whole lot of it. Um, but these guys were playing in a super small venue, and I was with my wife, soon to be wife, and we got the poster, and I only asked them to sign it to Josh, not to Josh and Allison. So 15 years later, I still hear about it all the time. And actually, we have a Wolf Mother poster that she got signed that just said to Allison, and then she had him write my name on it also because so we didn't have another incident of that. But just a funny story of how sometimes you get a little starstruck and you're just like, there, they say, who do you sign it to? To Josh. I don't know. I wasn't thinking, but call me an asshole. Hey, I took her to the show. We had a fun time. But if you want to listen to their best album, it is definitely their debut album, Picking Up Pieces. Uh, so many good songs on there. LUV or LOV. Sorry, my bad. Rich Girls, that's a good one. Uh, Don't Gotta Work It Out. And yeah, Winds of Change, also amazing, amazing song. Um, but that's just that'll be the last of my nice stuff because this last one here saved it for last because it doesn't have one, it doesn't have two, as 3 vocalists. You got the nice singer, you got the all-out screamer, and you got the deep growly voice, which makes for, in my idea, the trifecta of probably one of the best albums ever to be made, ever. And that is Alexisonfire, Watch Out. This album would be their second album and their last album with drummer Jesse Inglevics. And little side note, uh, the album after this, Crisis, there's a song on there called Keep It on Wax. And it's all about how he pretty much just wanted to walk away from the band and did, and kind of left them all hanging right at the point of them reaching stardom, if you will. Luckily then they got Jordan Ratbeard Hastings. I've met Jordan before on a Billy Talent tour, and Jordan is a super nice guy and honestly just improved their drums tenfold. But the album we're talking about today, like I said, Watch Out. So on this album, highlights lead singer Dallas Green. That'll be your nice singer. And I mean, he has a beautiful voice. And if you just want to listen to Dallas Green, just Dallas Green, go listen to The City and The Color, because that's Dallas Green. Because if you don't get it, City and Color, Dallas Green. That's really his name, though. That it's just a play off of it. And Jack Lawrence from, now don't quote me on that, but I'm almost for sure Jack Lawrence from Raconteurs actually was on an album of City and Color. Don't quote me, but I think he was. But anyways, so that's Dallas Green's your nice singer. Wade McNeil is kind of your growler, rough guy. Kind of scary if you see him walking down the streets covered in tattoos. And just to round things out, the amazing scream of George Pettit. These guys, I saw them comeback year, would have been the 2016 Riot Fest, I do believe. They were supposed to be done, not doing anything else after 2010. You know how that goes. They're all liars. They're always going to come back. They're always going to come back. But yeah, Watch Out came out in 2004, and with hit tracks like Get Fighted, and again, just that cover art. I fucking love that cover art. Yeah, songs like Get Fighted, that one's probably one of my favorite songs ever. I can listen to that song over and over and again. Right there. Track 10, Get Fighted. White Devil, awesome song about cocaine and how cocaine's popular, but it just makes you a piece of shit. That one's really fucking good if you like listening to shit talking about people that are all fucked up and losers but think they're cool. Obviously, we won't get into that. Accidents, amazing kick off track. I mean, tear it up. This whole album, front to back, and then Happiness by the Kilowatt to round things out. Amazing album. Amazing album. I can't express. If you were to go out and only listen to one album I have showed you here today, I ask that you listen to Alexisonfire. Watch Out. Such a good album. So good. A couple guys from across the border up in Canada doing some amazing Canada things. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. Really, I had a whole widget Scalamadoo thing set up, and I was going to have you guys poll on what you wanted the next episode to be. So we will save that for the next episode, and then we'll decide then. But I already got an idea of what we're going to do next time around. So a little tidbit, it's going to have to do with movies. Huh? Oh, yeah. We'll just make it easy. Soundtracks. Soundtracks. Next episode, soundtracks, everyone. And then we're going to put a poll up and see what you guys want me to do the next time around. But yeah, We'll make it easy on you. No messing around. Doing soundtracks next time around. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. If you got a second, go out, like, share, tell your friends about me. Measuring Music with Minahan on YouTube, and then here's the Instagram here. Also, if you like sports, check out Jay Fresh and Jay Real with the Real Fresh podcast. We just had a new episode come out Friday. Yes, I'm gonna promote my other stuff as well. So check out anything if you like what you see here. That comes from me at JFresh or from the Measuring Music channel on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys, and I promise next time we get even a little